Yep, I started early. Not on the air yet. I'm sure some of you will have seen this notification because I'm pretty sure it goes out on the web that way as a notification. Only have a minute or so to go. Good evening. Is the frequency in use? There we're here. Now we're cooking. K4PEW with the Mount Juliet Simplex Net. Is there any emergency or priority traffic? Very good. If there is any, just call 911. But yeah, I'd prefer you do that before you call us, but we'll help if you can. If you can't call 911, the net may be broken at any time for emergency or priority traffic. Um, you can see us on the web and information about us on 1464115.net. 1464115.net. 1464115.net, and you can also reach us on our Mount Juliet. It's MJ_SS. That's on Yahoo Groups, MJ_SS. Or you can send me an email at kilo4 Papa Echo Whiskey at ARRL.net. We normally meet at 8 p.m. every Saturday and Wednesday evening, and we conduct a net at 146.415, an event through our frequency. The purpose of the net is to practice emergency communications and have a nice group locally here in Middle Tennessee. But it's actually to train and support ham radio operators for simplex communications in the event of an emergency, which we hope would never happen. Helps people to get their systems up and ready and running under less than perfect conditions. Simplex is the way to go. It's easy to get to, doesn't require expensive equipment, doesn't require someone else's equipment to operate like it does on a repeater. We invite everyone to use the net to announce amateur radio events, activities, resources, and training for the local community. Does anybody have any announcements? All right. Don't have any announcements from the peanut gallery, for those not old enough to remember that line. But of course, we have the Wilson County Amateur Radio Net. It's on Thursday nights. That's next Thursday. We'll start out with the Vanderbilt Net on Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. That's Vanderbilt's Amateur Radio Club. It's 443.800. Excuse me, can't read. And it's a plus offset and 123 PL. And that's at 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday. And then, of course, ours next Wednesday, we have another net on 146.415, but I don't think I have to say that. And then, of course, on Thursdays, the Wilson County Amateur Radio Club net on 147.105. Plus offset in a 156.7 PL. Any other announcements? Well, Chattanooga Ham Fest is coming up next Saturday. You can look that up online. Chattanooga. It's also the Tennessee State Convention for ARRL section, I believe, or at least for Tennessee. And that's obviously in Chattanooga, and that's next Saturday. And also, see, there's something else. Oh, yeah, I wanted to mention about this morning. We had a great breakfast. I think it was 12 of us came to the breakfast, which is a good number. Considering we get 20-something check-ins and 12 show up, that's fantastic, really. They get half as many check-ins as we normally get. So we had a good time, good breakfast, good coffee, good conversation, lots of fun. I wish everybody could make it at the same time. Of course, then we have to rent out a place, I think. Does anybody else have any other announcements, or am I missing something on what we've been doing? All right, one more announcement. I just remembered I'm going to try to keep an eye on when each person checks in, give them the time within that hour of the recording. So if they want to go look at the video, they can jump right to that the minutes within the hour, so you don't have to listen to the whole net all over again. I thought that would make it a little easier because I don't think anybody wants to sit and listen to it for another hour. All righty. Do we have any other information on the questions, answers, answers to questions, whatever? Any other comments at this time?
Inform you, may I check in early since I'm mobile and hilltopping?
Yeah, you can. Who was that again?
This is November 4, Mike Echo Yankee Kurt. I'm in East Nashville. Actually, I'm at Southwood Park up on the hill here, intersection of Rebecca and Moore. And it's not a bad place, but it's not exactly not dodgy either. So I just wanted to go ahead and check in and then listen as I was riding.
Yeah, very good. Good to have you in there, Kurt. That's Kurt, a mobile station. That's November 4, and that's Mike Echo Yankee. Do you have that correct?
That is correct. November 4, Mike Echo Yankee. And it's Kurt, Charlie Uniform, Romeo Tango.
Yeah, very good, Kurt. Glad to have you in there mobile. You haven't checked in with us before, have you?
I have, but it's been a while.
Yeah, okay, very good. My memory does not remember that, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen. All right, very good, Kurt. Glad to have you in there working the station mobile. You have a good signal in here, good strong signal, at least in the moment. So you're doing fine. All right, that was Kurt, and he's mobile. November 4, Mike Echo Yankee, and he's normally in East Nashville. Let's start out. Let's see. We want to start. Do we have any other mobile stations that need to check in? Okay, nothing heard. We'll start out. Last time was north, so this time we start out with west. West of Mount Juliet Road, please come down.
KM4YRF.
Hey, good to hear you in there this morning, Michael. How you doing this evening?
I'm doing great. Just got back home from Fletcher's and Dawson, having some great pizza, so I'm full and content.
And less a few books.
That's right.
Yeah, it was good to have you in there today at the meeting. Well, the breakfast this morning.
Well, had a great time as usual. Looking forward to the next time, and want to say thank you to Eddie for the HT that I acquired today. I love it. I've already programmed some frequencies, and so I'm good to go.
Yeah, is that the Anytone? Is that the name of it?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it's nicely built radio.
It is. I'm real impressed with it.
Yep, sounds good. All right, very good. That's strictly dual band analog, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay, very good. You're gonna have to check in on the 70 centimeter net next week with that.
I'm sure gonna try.
All right, very good. That's Michael, and he's in at 8:00. Well, it's about 8 minutes after the hour. Well, it's hard to say that. It's about 8 minutes into the video, but I started pretty much on the money, I guess. All right, who else? West of Mount Juliet Road, please come in.
Whiskey 4 Alpha, Whiskey Echo.
Caught you in there early tonight. How you doing tonight, John?
Oh, good. It's just a busy work weekend for me to deliver a project by Tuesday, but all is good.
Yeah, it's pays the bills, but working through weekends isn't exactly fun.
Oh, that's been normal for me for years. So it's my philosophy is every day's a weekend, every weekend.
Yeah, and I was in a lot of service-related stuff through my career, and you get used to not only working late, going in early, and working and being available on the phone 24 hours a day. Other than that, it's not a problem.
Yeah, but when you're off, you're off. So it's just the nature of being a freelancer. You got a great signal tonight. Looks like conditions.
Yeah, I think they are, and yours, as always, is very strong. You were like 20 over at least here.
Well, let's see who else we got out here in the west.
All right, very good. That was John, and he's in there at about 8 minutes after the hour. I might be off by a little about that because I started just a little bit before 8 a.m. Sorry, 8 p.m. So in case anybody's going to look at the video. In a minute or so on the scale. But anyway, John, good to have you in. That is Whiskey 4 Alpha Whiskey Echo, and he is in Bellevue. Yeah, I got that right again. All right. Anybody else west of Mount Juliet Road, west of Wilson County, please come in. Don't be shy. West of Wilson County, please come in. All righty, then we'll move around to south of 40. Please come now. Anyone in south of Interstate 40?
I'm going to jump right in there. K1 SPD.
Yeah, you didn't delay that time.
Sure did. Game's getting ready to come back on.
Let's see. Which game is that?
Predators against the Islanders.
Oh, yes, of course. I was thinking today's not fun football night, but it could be. I don't know. They don't do any college this late. I forgot about the Predators. Yeah, they're starting out to a good season. I haven't been following them.
Yeah, not bad. They took an embarrassing game opener loss, but they made up for it the next one. All right, Paul, check me out there. One question: you can do sideband tonight?
Tonight, yes, tonight is sideband night on 2 meters. I forgot to mention it.
Whereabouts?
144, 200.
Gotcha. I might slip back up here. All right, carry on. K1 SPD.
All right, we'll catch you later. By the way, that is true. I forgot to mention the sideband tonight, 144.200 on 2 meters, following this net. And we'll do a buy-sell swap, trade, swindle, and I don't know, yard sale net at the end also. All right, anybody else south of 40, please come in. Oh, by the way, there was Scott, Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta, and he's in Laverne. Who else south of 40?
Kilo Echo 4 Sierra Yankees Victor.
All right, Larry, it's good to see you today. And there was a double in there, so bear with me on that double. Larry, go ahead. You're doing fine.
Yeah, I'm doing fine, Paul. I'll get out of here and let you go ahead and get that double and get on with it.
All right, it was good to see you today. I'm glad you're in there. And that was Larry's in there at about 11 minutes after the hour, after the start anyway. All right, Larry, good to have you in there. Who was doubling with Larry? Please come in.
Kilo November 4 Charlie, Quebec.
Yeah, Larry covered you up good there, Preston.
Oh, copy that. Yeah, I'm down on 5 watts tonight. I figured I'd try to get in there when I could.
Well, you're doing real good. You're about S5, S6 into the station tonight. And you're in about a late 11 minutes after the hour, in case anybody's making note of that. Yeah, you had a good signal tonight on that 5 watt.
Good deal, man. It's good to hear you in there. I hadn't been in the last couple. Just going to jump in real quick to say hello to you and everybody. But have a good night, Paul, and we'll catch you later.
Very good. This K4PEW to Mount Juliet Simplex Net, and that was Preston in Possum Trot, and that's Kilo November 4 Charlie, Quebec. Who else west of or south of 40? Please come in.
KM4 VV8.
All right, it was another double, but I had Dan in there first. Dan, you sound good. And it was good to see you this morning. Allergies and all.
Yeah, well, they're still in there.
Well, you know, what was funny was after on the way home, I had to go to Walmart. I got a Walmart, and I rarely, if ever, I got into Walmart. I don't know what was in there, but I sneezed like 8 times in like 2 minutes.
Yeah, I thought the allergies were supposed to be springtime, not fall.
I think it's a government spraying the air with something.
I think you might be right there.
Just to annoy us. It's an annoyance factor. They're not annoying enough. They got to mess with our air quality.
Oh, that's it. Watching a little football, sitting inside on a HT and only hearing you, and that's it.
All righty. Well, at the moment, we'll see if we can hear anybody else here. Dan, you sound good. It was good to see you this morning. That was Kilo Mike 4 Victor Alpha. Lives right over there east of right almost on top of Providence Marketplace and the local apartments there. I could hear him on probably half a watt HT. But Dan, good to have you in there. And that was 8:13 on the hour. Who else south of 40? Please come in.
KE4TYJ.
Very good to see you and your wife today there, Jim. You doing well? Still? You made a good trip home?
Yeah, we got home, I'd say, about 20 minutes to 8 this evening.
Oh, wow. You made a whole day of it.
Oh, yeah, we did. We made a whole day of it. Visited some friends and had dinner, and, yeah, we made a whole day out of it.
Well, made for a nice bike trip anyway.
Yeah, and the sun did come out, not as early as we'd like it to, but it did a pretty good job and warmed up quite nicely. It was pretty comfy.
Yeah, it sounds good. I like that bike, by the way. It really looks. It looks actually. I don't like so much. It looks powerful.
Well, thank you, sir. Not bad for a 1997 model, and it's got a mile or two on it. Yeah, we really enjoy it.
Yeah, it doesn't matter as long as it looks good.
It looks good, rides good, it's dependable, it runs well. It's a fine little machine.
Yeah, very good. Good to have you in there, Jim, and say hello to Susan for me. And that was Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet at 8:14 or so. Who else south of 40? South of Interstate 40. Please come in.
K4 OFO.
Hey, Donnie, good to see you this morning.
Hey, George, I know you're going to be busy tonight. Everybody's had a busy day. I'll turn it back over to Net. Good to see everybody. 73 star.
Yeah, very good. Good to have you in there, Donnie. And that was about 8:15 after the hour, give or take a few seconds. Donnie was also at the breakfast this morning. Who else south of 40? Please come down.
Can I get a recheck there, Paul?
Costs extra.
I'll put it on my tab.
All right, go ahead. What's up?
Kurt over there in the mobile in Nashville had a good signal over here in Woodbury when he checked in.
Very good. Well, he'll appreciate that. I keep in mind, Kurt, if you're still listening, Jim's on a 13 element beam pointed in kind of his direction.
Only a 10 element, but yeah, it's pointed right over top of your house, Paul.
Yeah, there you go. And that's probably pointed right up from Woodbury right through Nashville. No, not just over it. I think probably the top of Nashville.
QSO, I'm north of Woodbury by about 7 miles. And yeah, I'm pointed right over top of your house and North Nashville. So it encompasses it. It does pretty good.
Yeah, you're at least 10 over on my little scale here on the radio, so you're doing real good.
QSO. All right, back to that. KE4TYJ.
Yeah, very good, Jim. Who else we have? So that was Jim, of course, KE4TYJ in just a little bit north of Woodbury. Who else south of 40? Please come in. All right, we'll move over to the east of Mount Juliet, east of Mount Juliet Road. Please come in.
WA4ZHI.
Another breakfast chow hound. How you doing there, James?
Fine. That breakfast was good.
Yeah, it's always good. It wouldn't matter. I don't know. It wouldn't matter if I just had coffee. It's good to meet up with people who have similar interests and similar hobbies and enjoy getting together. So you sound like you're doing all right, though.
Yes, things going all right.
Yeah, I still didn't get out to. I was going to do the lawn today, and I put it off again until I guess tomorrow. And it's supposed to rain tomorrow.
Well, rain is good sometimes.
Yeah, I know, but the lawn's getting a little shaggy, and it's going to get shaggier if it rains more. But anyway, that was James, Whiskey Alpha 4 Zulu Hotel India, and he is in just here in the middle of Mount Juliet. Great signal, and that's at 8:17 after the hour. Who else we have east of Mount Juliet Road? And it's good to have you in there, James.
KN4LXH.
As close as you are, you should have been at the breakfast this morning, Jimmy.
Now, I had to go to Murfreesboro. My sister is recovering from back surgery, so I had to go down there to help her out.
Yeah, that's a really, really acceptable excuse, but we need it in writing.
Sorry.
No, I'm kidding. Hope she's doing all right, I hope.
Yes, she is recovering well.
Yeah, I used to be a long time ago. I remember having people getting back surgeries way back, 30 years ago. And I always thought it was dangerous, but I think they've pretty much got that down to a science.
Yeah, well, she's had multiple back surgeries over the last 15 years, so she's getting to be an old pro at it.
Yeah, I have. I'm pretty sure that someday I'll be needing that, or my wife will, or both of us. I'm not sure which, but back problems are particularly when they're aggravated by work or accident situations where those, they start losing their resiliency and they start rubbing together all them spinal things. There is no easy fix.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
All right, very good. That's Jimmy, and it's Kilo November 4 Lima X-Ray Hotel. He's just north of Mount Juliet High School and up near Lebanon Road. So good to have you in there, Jimmy. Great signal as always. Are you running full power or less?
That's 50 watts. I've got that little 4-element beam in my attic.
Oh, that's well. You're full scale on my thing there, and it's like 20 over at least. So you do well. But again, you're only, I don't know, maybe 5 miles as the crow flies.
Yep, 5 miles.
Yeah, very good. Thanks, Jimmy. And that was at 8:19 after the hour. Who else we have on east of Mount Juliet? Please come in. Anybody east of Mount Juliet Road? All right, then we can move up to the north of Lebanon Road. Please come in.
W9BOQ. Dennis here.
Hey, Dennis. How are you doing tonight? Hadn't heard from you in a little bit anyway.
I'm doing good. My wife and I grilled steaks tonight, and they were pretty awful. It's hard to get good meat locally.
Well, if any meat, anytime I've ever cooked anything and it came out awful, I always blame the meat instead of me.
Absolutely. I'm a grill master.
Now, it's funny I don't know, where do you normally buy meat, if I may ask?
We usually buy a half a cow from a neighbor. And, excuse me, the meat is the best tasting beef I've ever had. And the steaks aren't necessarily real tender, but like the roast, the hamburger is just amazing. But this we bought from a butcher in Gallatin.
Well, you would think buying from a butcher would get some pretty good cuts.
Well, I use the term butcher loosely. It's an international market that we tried out in Gallatin, and they just bring out the rib and cut you a steak right off the rib. So I don't know. It just wasn't very good. Very tough.
Yeah, I learned. I say I learned. Well, I'll tell you sometime later. But just the idea of searing it on both sides in a pan, and then I put it in the oven. In this case, I wasn't cooking it outside, but put it in the oven for a specified time. And man, that was really worked out well. I loved it that way.
Yeah, my son does something similar to that. But anyway, I eat meat I eat like beef about once a month, I'd say. Maybe hamburger once a month too. I mean, that's beef too, but a lot of chicken, a lot of seafood.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we're kind of the same way. I don't usually eat a lot of cut beef, and we do have. I do occasionally. You're right. Probably about once a month, I have a hamburger, and it's one of those Angus burgers, which is pretty good. And because if I'm going to eat a hamburger, I might as well have a good one.
Well, absolutely, yeah. Don't waste it on a McDonald's burger, that's for sure.
Well, you mentioned that. I had this one of my cousin's children. He married a woman, and she said something about that. It was one of those things going around on the internet. And she says, the McDonald's mixes up ground up worms in their burgers. I go, it's not the greatest meat in the world to you. They don't grind up worms, because if that ever got out of the public, they'd be closed.
And it would probably be better for you.
I would be better as well, just tasting.
I'll eat anything, but I don't think I could eat worms, and I don't think I could eat raw snails. But there's hardly anything I haven't tried.
Yeah, I'm with you. Well, you do know, I'm sure you do. We just don't think about it. But even in prepared foods that you buy from the grocery, like I say prepared foods, canned foods, or canned or frozen or whatever, vegetables, there's actually an FDA limit during their testing, and they go through random samples to determine how many bug parts are in the product. And it can only be a maximum number per cubic foot or square meter or something like that. So there technically is bug parts in everything we eat.
Bugs are everywhere. So let me give everybody an update on my surgery. I had surgery on my hip a week ago Wednesday. Thursday, I was told I could walk without my walker, so I'm on a cane, and I'm feeling unbelievably good. If anybody has a bad hip and it really bothers you, I suggest getting this surgery. It's not pleasant, but it's not horrible.
Yeah, I hear you. They've really, again, that's another thing they've gotten down to a science. So you are gonna get back into the Boston Marathon here next year.
Yeah, I'm not a runner. I never have been, but I can walk and climb and do all that stuff.
Yeah, no, that's great. So it's not giving you any pain following up on the surgery. I mean, after a couple of days.
I have a lot of muscle soreness because when they replace your hip, they have to move a lot of muscle parts to the side so they can work, and you basically get strained or pulled muscles in your leg. But no, I'm good. I've been walking around all day today.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I'm glad to hear it. By this time the wound is mostly healed, right?
Yeah. I go to the doctor Thursday, and I'm hoping there's a piece of tape on it. I'm kind of hoping he takes that off. So anyway, I'm good. I'll let you go on to somebody else. Everybody have a good night. I might hang around for a while yet when the net is over. So W9BOQ, clear.
Yeah, very good. Good to have you in there, Dennis. And that's Dennis, Whiskey 9, Bravo, Oscar, Quebec, Castilian Springs. See, I remember. I'm surprised I did, but I did remember Castilian Springs, which is north, almost due north of Lebanon, a few miles, and up towards Hartsville. Who else? Well, by the way, your signal's great in here tonight, Dennis. That was Whiskey 9, Bravo, Oscar, Quebec. And who else we got north of Lebanon Road, north of Mount Juliet?
WB0 and OO.
Good evening. How are you? WB0 and November Oscar. How are you doing tonight?
Oh, doing good. Just got home from a great experience of spending 2 days in a hotel with no power and no water, waiting for a hurricane to blow through.
Oh, that's right. You went to the Panhandle, I think, didn't you?
Yeah. We picked a fine time, but we historically have gone down to St. George Island this time of year. Spend a few weeks down there. But it was different this year. We got run out of town in a hurry. And we were 85 miles north of where the storm came in. But I can tell you, we must have had close to 100-mile-an-hour winds, and pine trees were snapping like toothpicks, and stuff was blowing around everywhere. But we finally made it back.
Yeah, it isn't fun. None of that is fun. It's interesting later, as long as you survive it without incident, but it's not fun. The storm itself is scary because you don't know what's coming next. Because what people forget about storms, yeah, the wind's awful, no question about it. The wind can be horrible and you don't want to go out in it, but it's the other flying debris that's so dangerous and deadly. Whether that's roof tiles, garbage cans, tree limbs, stop signs, you name it. It's flying through the air is dangerous, and then of course, not knowing when it's going to end. So I sympathize with you. I've been through a few of those issues down when I lived in Florida. So yeah, it's unfortunate your timing there. Though you were 85 miles. That's where you got run out to. Was farther north.
Now that's where we ended up. When we left Monday, it was a Category 1, and gonna blow right on through. No big deal. So we made a reservation away from the island, about 85 miles north of the island, in Quincy, Florida, which is just a little bit west of Tallahassee. But boy, it really came with a blow. We left all of our stuff in the rental house down there. I got a friend that's going to hopefully go by and pick it up, but we were so confident it was going to be a little storm that we planned on going back Wednesday.
Yeah, that I saw the images of what happened to the coastal areas. Man, it was a mess. Just a giant, like a Tyndall Air Force Base. Man, they might as well rebuild the base.
Oh yeah, I think it's gone. When we left the hotel, we finally got a reservation in Enterprise, Alabama, because that was as close as we could find a place that had power and water. And it took us 7.5 hours to go 115 miles from Quincy to Enterprise.
Yeah, well, fortunately, you had enough gas, I take it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we filled up with gas and had a trunk full of water, so we were not gonna get caught that way. But anyway, it was quite an experience. Don't want to do it again, but it was kind of interesting, I guess. Especially the trip to Walmart. That was always great. Whatever. Anyway, have a good net. We're back for a while. We'll talk to you later. WV0NOO.
Yeah, very good, Mark. Good to have you in there, and I'm glad you survived that mess. I remember you saying you were down there, and it just occurred to me after you got on the air and said that. I put two and two together. I didn't presume you were still down there during the storm. Yeah, it's like I said, having lived in Florida, we never really had a direct hurricane hit on Tampa when I was there for 37 years. But we had some close calls and some high winds, and like when you look out your window, even when it's lower wind, like 30, 40, 50, 60 mile an hour winds, the side, I forget what they call them, the feeder bands that are whipping around hurricanes. And I looked out the window one day during one of those events, and you realize you're not going outside when you see a trash can flying down the road at about 35 miles an hour.
Oh yeah, there was debris everywhere and power lines everywhere, and then all of the crews that were coming in from all over the East Coast, and well, we even saw some Tennessee contingent coming down to help put it back together. So lots of traffic coming south.
Oh, I can't imagine. Yeah, it's a huge mess to clean up. I forget. I think I saw it. I want to say 21 billion was in damage is the first estimate, and of course there's 15 dead. So yeah, we don't even know if that's a final number, but that's a lot of mess.
Yep, it is. Feel really sad for those folks that are out there. They're going to have a long road ahead of them.
Yeah, it's going to take even for the homes that are still standing. It's going to take weeks to clean up all the. I was looking at the aerial photos the day after, or a day or two after, and all I could look at was they were looking over Tyndall Air Force Base, and I thought it's going to take weeks to clean up just the debris that's laying around.
Yeah, well, they announced that there was not a single habitable building left on Tyndall.
Wow. Yeah, because every building they looked at, there was roofs gone, or roofs disappeared, or just it was unbelievable. All right, very good. Typical storm, though, and I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't build anything on the coast. All right, very good, Mark. And of course, that's Mark, Whiskey Bravo 0, November, Oscar, and he would have come in about 8:26 into the hour, or 26 minutes into the video. So, Mark, if you're interested in looking. All right, or 8:25, somewhere in that range. And he's in Old Hickory. Anyone else north of Lebanon Road, please come in.
K4WT.
Hey, Steve, how you doing tonight up there in Kentucky?
Pretty good. I got ready comms. It comes and goes, like you see on the screen there. I can see you sometimes, and other times I just can hear you in the background.
Yeah, I'm guessing, the live feed looks good at my end. Of course, I don't know why it looks better, but if it is bad, I can usually tell if it's bad. But, I've got the live stream video right there in front of my face instead of looking at the clock. You're actually coming in at 33 minutes after the start of the video. So in case you're interested, you said you're seeing it though. So, but you're coming in at about 8:32 or so. But you're doing all right up there, and you have a good signal in spite of what you just said. So there, Steve. Yeah, very good. Yeah, you just dropped out again. You're right. It was up and down communications. Well, very good. That was Steve, Kilo 4 Whiskey Kilo uniform up in just north of Bowling Green. Couldn't think of it there for a second. All right. Who else north of Mount Juliet? Please come in. Anybody else north of Mount Juliet? Anybody? We'll go with late check-ins. Any place, anywhere, anyhow, north, south, east, or west.
Okay, I'm going to
There was a double in there, Stan, so I'll take Stan first. How you doing, Stan? You sound good?
doing well, Paul. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. We had a nice breakfast. You got to make it back over there.
Yeah, I woke up late today.
Well, Saturday. Well, see, for people who still every morning, to me, since I'm retired, not every morning because I do some things I get up early for, but it's amazing to me. I can stay up till 2 in the morning and get up at 9, or unless there's a problem in the house with my mother or mother-in-law. But generally speaking, I don't have to get up at 6 o'clock every morning.
I usually get up about 4:20 every morning.
Oh wow! What time do you have to be at work?
I usually try to be there before 6.
Aha. Yep. I've been through that drill. I've been through that drill a lot when I was working. But yeah, before 6 is yeah. I had one time I had to get up at 4:30 in order to be at work when I needed to be, and that went on for months. And you get used to it.
Roger. Well, hold you up, Paul. Back to net.
Yeah, very good signal. 20 over, so you're doing great, Stan. That was Stan, Kilo Mike 4, Hotel Quebec Echo, and he was in about 35, 34 minutes into the video. Who else? Any late check-ins? We had that other double in there. Who is it?
Probably WY4G.
Okay, I heard you fine there, Jeff. How are you doing today? It's a nice Saturday night for you.
Yeah, just fell asleep. So that's what happened to me last week. I fell asleep in the recliner and didn't make the net. That same thing happened tonight when I woke up. So I'll get back in here and check in. But just busy. That's about all that's going on with me.
Yeah, you're about 10 over S9 to me. So your signal's great tonight, Jeff. And don't feel bad. I've actually fallen asleep and missed my own net here.
Yeah, it's happened to me before. And I remember you told me that one time before. It's happened to you. So, but I work 2 jobs, so I expect such.
Oh yeah, no question about it. I know that when at one point in my life when I was working construction many moons ago, even when I was at 25 or 26 years old, and I was working in the summer. We worked oftentimes 12 hours a day because we had the daylight hours to do it, and the construction manager liked it, and I'd be working 6 a.m. till 6 p.m. and then I did that by the time Friday rolled around, it was hard to get me sitting up at all at the end of the day. By 7 o'clock on Friday night, I was like passed out.
I know the feeling. Back when I was younger, I could work a lot of hours and handle it. But now, it's yeah, I don't know. It seems like the older I get, the more difficult it is to do. Because you're about 10 years older than I am. And it's just it's starting to get rough.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And also, it's more problematic usually, and I'm not making light of this situation. It's more the bigger the person you are physically in stature, the harder it is on your frame over time because you have to. It's so much more stuff to uphold. And I'm not saying you're just a big guy like I'm a big guy, and that I think it wears more on people who are bigger.
Yeah, it does. It's true. There's truth in that. But with anything, it seems like the older we get, the less our bodies can handle the physical stress.
Oh yeah, there's no question. I do not have the stamina I used to have. I assure you that at 69 years old. I don't just. I hate to. Well, I can't say I hated to admit it because I saw it over time. Um, decreasing in the ability to do certain things. I can, and hurting certain things was easier. Getting strained certain things was easier. So yeah, I know what you're talking about, Jeff. And I guess the key to that is hopefully not doing stressful things and just keeping active at the same time.
Yeah, if we can keep up with it, it's the lifestyle a lot of us live. This time it's we're always just so busy doing this and that. Not much time to sit down and just kind of rest, I guess. That'd be a good way to put it.
Yep, no, I agree. It's I would say that one of the downsides, I think that I joke that taller, bigger people are discriminated against because they don't make things for tall people. or people who are extra large. I'll just put it that way. The big and tall men shop people, and it's really, I can't tell you how many times I've gotten in a car and I could barely sit up straight because the car wasn't built for me, even though it was supposedly a mid-sized car, that kind of stuff. And phone cords aren't long enough on public phones, and I can't name you the number of things that don't fit me. And I'm sure you're in the same boat.
I was going to mention how you think I feel. You met me one time, so you know what kind of difficulties I have to endure.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I know exactly where you're coming from. And you may be a little bit taller than I am, so I know that you've got some issues that I don't have to face. But all right, good to have you in there, Jeff. That was Jeff Good Signal from Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf, and he is in Madison. Are you hearing any better than you used to?
No, you're the only station I've heard so far.
Yeah, wow. All righty. Well, let's hope that improves in the future. But as long as you got somebody to talk to, and I'm sure if we had some other parties up there in the Madison area, we wouldn't have any trouble with them, I don't think. All right. That was Jeff. He's in Madison. That's Whiskey Yankee 4 Golf in about 36 minutes into the hour. 37. Who else? Late check-ins, please come in. Any other late check-ins, north, south, east, or west, before we fall into the bad category?
N4MEY recheck.
It's N4 MEY. That's who that is?
Yeah, this is Kurt. I was just going to say that station was it NW4G. I heard him. I'm down here in East Nashville on my base now.
Ah, very good. Jeff, were you copying Kurt in East Nashville? N4 MEY?
Yeah, WY4G. Yeah, I can hear him, but he's kind of, his audio or his signals is kind of low, but he did break the squelch.
All right, very good. Yeah, Kurt, Jeff is in a kind of a hole where he is with not the greatest antenna situation. So he's like you said, he could only hear me, and he can hear you breaking the squelch, but I'd expect him to do better in Madison, but he's just in a bad spot there.
Yeah, and I'm only putting out 25 watts here to a disc cone on the roof, and so it's not really helping matters a lot. But yeah, I heard him pretty good. He's certainly breaking the squelch and got a decent signal. I didn't get an S meter reading, but I have a good S meter on this thing. But either way, he's quiet and clean. So back to net in 4MEY.
Yeah, very good. Well, as you know, the disc cone, depending upon the height, of course, the height makes a huge difference, but it's still only got a 1.0 gain on it. I think it is. It's unity gain.
Yeah, the rule of disc cones is they radiate poorly in all directions on all frequencies. But that's the whole point, is all frequencies. So for a lazy person who doesn't want to put up 5 antennas for VHF, UHF, hey, works pretty good. Back to net in 4MEY. Yeah,
I know, but they have their advantages, though, as you know. I mean, just the fact that they do have a reasonably good SWR on all the frequencies they're made for. In this case, if you've got one of those, I think is good from, oh my gosh, one of them is good from on 10, 10 all the way up to, I don't know, I forget what it is, but it's good on 70 centimeters, 2 meters, 220, the works. And, to monitor for a scanner antenna, it's fantastic.
Yeah, and I use it on 6.2 and 220 if I had something right now, and 70 centimeters. And it will work on 900 and 1200. I don't have anything operational there right now, but I did. And I have also, like you say, it's good for a scanner antenna also. This is a Diamond D130, and I have used it on 2 meters. I've also used to hear the space shuttle when it was coming in for reentry over the central U.S., 10 watts on 259.7 AM. So, it's just so versatile. It's my fallback antenna in 4MEY.
Oh, absolutely. I had a friend of mine down in Florida. He had a disc cone. He used to brag about it because he had it up at an excellent, I forget how high he had it up. I want to say 60 feet up in the air or something. And he got, well, again, the terrain was different there than it is here. But he got out, 30, 40 miles with his disc cone, and he was receiving real well. So he was happy. But if I was really, as you may have heard me say in the past, if you're really interested in having a good signal and a great receive, you buy the best antenna you can afford. You wouldn't buy a disc cone to do great, transmit and receive overall, nor would you buy a, like a J-pole.
Yeah, I've used this one. Let's see, this is going on 35 or 6 years. But the trick with a discone to get the best out of it you can is I feed it with times LMR 400 coax, and you'd be surprised at what good coax does with a discone. Especially if you buy the one with the end connector and get coax with end connectors, and that'll give you 3 or 4 dB right there, maybe more, on 2 meters. And this is stainless steel, so it's holding up pretty good, and it's just so easy to use. Back to net in formula.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I saw one. I had my hands on one at a club back in Florida. It was we bought an MFJ one, and we were surprised because it was all stainless steel and very well constructed. I mean, it was just, we thought, because I had seen that one in a similar model that was being sold under the ICOM name. I don't know about the one with the diamond or comet, but it was like twice the price. And I thought it can't be twice as good because it's all stainless steel. It's hard to beat that.
Yeah, this diamond is stainless steel, and the top elements are, well, actually the thing is stainless steel tubing, and it's filled full of some kind of polymer plastic that's apparently so hard 20, almost 30 years later, it's still doing pretty good. But yeah, the end connector and good coax, makes all the difference. And of course, getting it as high up as you can. And it doesn't produce a lot of gain, but actually you can still hear me when I cut my power way down, because we did that test a while back. In fact, I don't need all this. I'm at, what is that? 6, I think that's 6 watts now in 4 MEY.
Yeah, you're still 10 to 20 over on your signal, so to me, but my benefit is I've got one of the best antennas available at a reasonably good, height. And so I can I could probably hear you on a handheld from East Nashville. I'm pretty sure, because I've done it from some other locations and was shocked how well my reception is. But no, you're right though. If you're going to do it, even no matter what you do, don't buy cheap feed line.
No, that's the whole key, is put your money into the feed line and then into the antenna second. And it's, like I said, that's what's so cool is I can do 2 meters that I can hear. If there is another U.S. spaceship that operates in the military UHF band, VHF UHF band, if they are above the horizon at all, I can hear them. Of course, I can hear them when the space station is itself actually making noise. I can hear it as soon as it breaks the horizon 1,200 miles away. So, I figure, of course, they have all the antenna height in formula.
Yep, absolutely. Well, all three of those combinations work out great. If you have a great antenna gain and you have the height and you have a great feed line, it doesn't even matter if you get a cheap radio, quite honestly. But anyway, appreciate you being in there. Appreciate that feedback. For Jeff, is there anybody else late check-ins? Please come in. All right, we're moving on to I don't think we're going to get anybody from the sandbaggers, lollygaggers, lurkers, and scanner listeners. Please come now. All right, that's all we got. Late check-in are the procrastinators. Got to check in sometime after midnight or tomorrow sometime or later in the week. Is there any late? That's it for anybody late check-ins, sandbaggers, lollygaggers, lurkers, and scanner listeners. Of course, scanner listeners got to email me or text me. So anybody else before we close down this portion of the net?
KG4 MSGA.
Hey, boy, you really came in late this time, man. Good to have you in there, Kevin.
Yeah. Sorry about that. I was doing something in the other room. I didn't realize you was going to be on here this late. Doggone. Let me check in real quick. The radio turned down too. But I heard Kurt. I heard him. He sounded real good over here. I don't know where. I think he said somewhere in East Nashville. That disco must be, he must have some that good feed line on it, because it sounds good out here. When he turned his power down, I lost him though. It was, he was gone. But whenever when he came in, he was in there. But sounding good there, Kurt. Yeah, there ain't too much going on over here, Paul. Just same old stuff, different day. I got to messing around here and straightened up some of this mess and moved it closer together so it's I don't have to start like it was before. You just kind of spread out a little bit. So I got it all consolidated there. It's all squished. Well, it ain't squished, but it's close enough where I can reach it with one hand. Everything. So yeah, ain't too much going on, Paul. So I'll let you get it back, and I hope everybody out there has a good evening. KG4 MIZ.
Hey, did you get the picture I sent you of the chicken?
No.
Well, I sent you a chicken picture, man. You got to go look.
All right, I'll look. I'll look over and see what's happening.
Yeah, you'll like it. It's a funny picture.
Are you going to go do sideband afterwards?
Yeah, as soon as we finish this, and then we go to the trade swap swindle and trade net there.
Oh, okay, Roger. All right, I'll get out of your way and finish up the net there. We'll talk to you in a little bit. Here in a few minutes, I'm sure. KG4 MIZ.
Yeah, very good. We'll catch you later. And of course, that was Kevin. He was in there at about 50 minutes or so, 50 into the net, into the video. And that was Kilo Golf 4, Mike, India Zulu, Kevin, and he's over just a little bit west of downtown Lebanon. Anybody else on late check-ins before we go? No procrastinators. Got nothing. Then we shall close down this portion of the net. And it was with 18 check-ins. And glad everybody had a good time at the breakfast. At least I know everybody I talked to did. Nobody complained. And even if they did, it wouldn't do any good. They wouldn't have showed up, I don't think, if they didn't want to eat breakfast and have some fun. So I'm going to go ahead. Does anybody have anything to sell, trade, swap, or swindle on the net tonight? Got nothing. Well, there's some things sold, a couple of things sold at the breakfast this morning. Does anybody else have anything to sell, trade, swap, or swindle? Anything they want to buy? Real estate and cars aren't included. All righty, nothing heard. Then we shall move over to the sideband net. And of course, that's on 144.200, 144.200, upper sideband. And I shall be there momentarily. I'll put in an antenna switch one of these days, but don't have it up right now. And it takes me just a minute to move that over. So K4PW, closing down this portion of the net and be back in just, I'm going to be here, but you're going to see me fumbling around here. Talk to you in a minute. K4PW. I'm back. For those of you still paying attention. This is K4PW on the sideband portion of the 2-meter net for what am I doing? For the Mount Juliet Simplex Net, please. Anybody, let's do this. North of Wilson County, please come in. Nothing heard. How about west of Wilson County? Please come in. West of Mount Juliet.
November 4, Mike Echo Yankee.
Hey, Kurt, how are you tonight? You doing sound good?
Yeah, I never get to use sideband with this thing. Glad it still works.
Well, that's one of the reasons I think we do this kind of stuff, to see if stuff works and if we still want to work it, you know?
You have plenty, you're plenty loud, and everybody else is certainly tolerably hearable so far. Having trouble getting everybody on the same frequency.
Oh, yeah, no, it's a little rough on this band to do that because there's variations in the rigs, and even if they're minor, it comes out huge at the other end. Well, let me see what else is out there west of Mount Juliet or north of Mount Juliet. Please come now. West or north of Mount Juliet, please come in. All right, south of I-40.
Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta.
All right, I do have Scott in there. Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta. Sound pretty good. It sounds funny because you sound like you're off frequency, but that's not unusual. You sounded better last time for some reason.
I got to use the rec with you pretty good.
Yeah, it's funny how we can appear both to be on the same frequency and it doesn't sound that way. All right, very good, Scott. Got you in there. Kurt, are you copying Scott in Laverne?
I am, in fact. I can't get his call signs very well, but I'm hearing him with a decent signal.
Yeah, Scott is Kilo 1 Sierra Papa Delta.
Papa Delta here in November 4, Mike.
Yeah, very good. Let's go move on. Scott, appreciate you checking in. Who else we got south of 40? Anybody else south of 40 on the sideband portion in there?
Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet.
Ah, very good. I wasn't sure you were going to be there. You were delaying too long.
I was giving everybody else a chance.
Ah, very good. Yeah, you sound good. You're using your horizontal beam, I take it.
No, I'm on the vertical beam.
Oh, vertical. Well, you said the beam. Yes, okay. I guess I shouldn't even question that because everybody else is going to be vertical too. So that's where you need to be.
I mean, for those who want to work horizontal, we can do that.
Yeah, if anybody wants to stick around. I don't know if anybody else has that capacity at the moment, but you're right. That'd be a good thing to ask for afterwards. Okay, Jim, appreciate you being in there. Is anybody else copying Jim down in near Woodbury? That's Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet.
I got a copy on him. Good copy.
Great copy, Laverne.
Copy it for me, why not?
All righty, that sounds like everybody is copying you, Jim. So you're doing a good job. All right, and we got Kevin in there. Kevin, and how are you copying everybody else?
I'm copying everybody out there except Kurt. I can't hear him. I turned the beam around that way and tried to find him, and I couldn't pick him out. But I heard him better on FM. But I guess that disconn's not working very well on sideband. But it sounded good over there. I heard everybody except him, and I'll give it back to you, KG4. I was like,
yeah, very good, Kevin. Good signal, a good solid here for certain. Anybody else checking in on the 2 meter sideband on 144 200?
I'm turning my power back up before anyway.
Yeah, very good, Kurt. Anybody else want to check in on east, south, north, or north, south, east, or west? Please come in. Anybody else wanting to check into the 2 meter simplex? Well, it's really not simplex at this point, but it is on the 2 meter portion in the 144 200 on sideband vertical. Please come now. Yeah, for those of you listening, you already realize that there's a number of folks that either don't have the rig, or they don't have, the rig with that capacity, or they don't have the antenna to do that. Although it shouldn't bother them if they got the rig, they can still try. But a lot of people don't have a 2-meter sideband rig or a multi-mode rig that will handle 2 meters. A lot of rigs out there, a lot of HF rigs that don't include 2 meters and 70 centimeters. So I understand that, but mine does, and I'm thankful it does. All right. If there's no further check-ins, does anybody have the ability to go horizontal in case Jim wants to talk to him?
I do. And I just heard Kurt whenever he talked to you just a minute ago. He must have turned some power up or something, because I heard a peep of him, but wasn't enough to say, well, yeah, I guess I did hear him. But yeah, I can go horizontal.
Very good. I'll let you guys go horizontal, and I'll butt out of here since I can't go horizontal. I can go horizontal. I can't make my antenna go horizontal. I'll give it over to you guys, and appreciate the 6 stations. I think it was, or is that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I heard 5 stations in there. So have a great night, guys. Appreciate the participation, and have a great rest of the weekend. And I'm here.
Hey, Jim, you still out there? KG4 MSGA.
FM. But
Anybody
anybody else
over on horizontal, KG4.
is everybody else still hanging out in the net? K4PD.
I'll say that again. Kilo Echo 4 Tango Yankee Juliet.
All right. Well, I'll be hanging out here for a little while. K4PD. And I'm going to close down the YouTube as well. No reason to be here doing this.
Kilo 4 Mike
Since
India
I'm finished. Have a great night, guys. K4PD.